Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today we are not playing Great Mode, and instead we are playing as the Tainted Forgotten, who plays a little differently. You are the ghost and also the Bone Boy at the same time, but the Bone Boy is stuck in one place until you pick him up and throw him. The Bone one is completely invulnerable and you only have soul hearts. This does mean you can open up stuff like that. Bombs are dropped where the Bone Boy is, so if he's all the way over there, the bomb is still going to be over there, which is going to be my most common mistake. And also, we got a golden bomb from the get-go, so we can use that to blow up some things. Unfortunately, when you throw a bomb or throw your character and then use the bomb appears to be going backwards towards you immediately, and I was not aware of that. Truth be told, I've played this character really only a handful of times, but I've never really had a particularly bad run with this character, so I'm hoping that today is going to be another one of those days, but obviously I do need to be a little bit careful not to bomb myself. Fortunately, this character only has soul hearts, so you're never really gonna run out of devil deal chance and the like, so that's good at least. But it also means that getting health might be a little bit more difficult. We've gotten a lot of money so far, so that's good, and two item rooms right next to each other, and this one's pretty good. Gives us a universal stat up, so that's quite nice. The buttons are all troll bomb related, but at least we got another bomb out of it. I guess I can try this. I'm a little curious how this would work. Alright, so Bob's brain is attached to the Bone Boy as well, so there is some concern there, but hopefully that's gonna end up working out. That's the nice thing about playing characters that you're not overly familiar with, that it's time to learn things, and hopefully that's going to work out in our favor. Probably gonna go for Angel Rooms as per usual to try and get Mega Satan done with this character. And hopefully that's gonna be okay. Hopefully we can do Boss Rush and something along those lines as well, but I do find Boss Rush tends to take a minute with this character, even though, as you can see, most rooms are getting cleared rather quickly. It can be rather tricky to kill bosses from time to time, at least in a quick manner. So if you go for Boss Rush or for Angel Rooms, there is a chance that it is a little bit more tricky to then try to go for something like Hush in the same run. But we'll see what this run brings. The fact that we got Bob's brain doesn't immediately fill me with like the greatest hope. Also, you can attack enemies when you land next to them by just simply pressing the attack button, so occasionally that is going to be rather helpful as well. And I should probably just try and blow up as many rocks as possible, since we have the golden bombs anyway, to maybe find a crawl space, but I'm not exactly expecting that to happen. A golden key along with my golden bomb. Fairly rare, I suppose. Trying to get Bob's brain to really do anything right now, but it's a little tricky, but at least the bone itself is dealing with all the work. But mostly it's just remembering that if I place a bomb, it's gonna land underneath the bones. That's really such an easy thing to forget, and every time you end up using a bomb, it just you wonder where it is until it suddenly explodes in a place where you forgot where it was. And that's why this character is called the Forgotten. Compass is pretty nice. There's a horse pill there, which could be good or really bad. I'm just gonna try it. Unfortunately, the announcer did not say the name of the pill. Not sure if bombs or key has a separate effect, but if it's something like Tears Up, it will be an even higher Tears Up than usual. Similarly, if it was a Tears Down, it would be an even worse Tears Down than usual. So it can be worthwhile to simply not go for that, because it does come with some dangers. It's a good thing I have a golden bomb, because I just bombed nothing there. And 5 more pills. The Bone Boy can also pick up things. You can go through doors, so you can actually go through... overall okay. You can go through things like curse rooms for free, so that is rather nice. I should blow up the shopkeeper actually while I'm at it. Unfortunately, nothing good. But yeah, there is definitely some advantages to this, and even though from the get-go it feels like this shouldn't work as well as it does, that it is actually very, very effective. So it's an interesting character for sure. Very different from everyone else in the game. And I can very much appreciate that. I do love me some variety. But on we go. Let's just throw that in there. Not really quite the way I wanted it to. It can be a little fiddly. And then you have Bob's Brain, which is definitely not going to help me in this run. I'm just not used to it enough. But hopefully we can find a way to make it work somehow and not hurt ourselves too much with it. That could be a lot of health or nothing. It is sort of in the middle there, but fair enough. And with that, I will simply move on. We have more or less cleared out the entire floor, so let's just keep going. We have a 67% Angel Room chance because we had an Excel floor on the previous floor, so that is looking pretty damn good. It is about as high as it can be from the get-go, and hopefully we can find a secret room or a shop. Which, well, with the compass we should at least be able to find our shop. But hopefully we can use that to blow up a shopkeeper and maybe find a beggar somewhere as well. There is some unfortunate stuff like that pretty fly that we got earlier. It is sitting next to the invulnerable part of my body, so not quite as effective unless I'm holding him, but you know what? Hopefully that won't be too bad. Our tear rate's actually pretty good, so we can swing our club around fairly frequently when the Bone Boy is laying down, but yeah, hopefully that's still gonna work out. We have a decent amount of money, so I might as well enter my shop again. Bob's Brain should be able to take care of one of these. The fact that you're flying the entire time is quite nice too, and also Birthright is actually really useful on this character. Because then you get an ability that allows you to just effectively teleport the bones back to your arms again rather than having to walk towards it, and that just makes this character so much stronger. But as you can see, rooms are getting cleared pretty quickly. Like, it's definitely not a bad character. You do need to watch out for stuff like this where you can accidentally leave the room by blowing up the wall, I guess, but like, even if the bones ended up going through the door, it would have still counted as just leaving the room, so that could have been a little annoying. Ultimately not the worst thing in the world. I guess I might as well take Mama Mega. I don't currently have a better active item, and this can actually just guarantee that we can go into Boss Rush or Hush, depending which one is more favorable. Assuming we keep this active item for the entirety of the run, of course, but in the end of the day, that is entirely up to me. Might be useful to blow up an angel statue, but I feel like that's pretty overkill for the purposes of the item, I suppose. And I kind of forgot about being able to leave and enter curse rooms for free as this character, so I do need to remember. Since the bones just spawn next to the door as well, you can just leave him alone and then you'll have him in your hands the moment the room starts, which is rather nice. I'm not sure if this is anything, but I'm going to try it. Unfortunate. Shot speed up. Not sure how this affects me. There is also a couple pills which are not as preferable, or rather stat ups really, which I don't love range up on this character, because after a while his range becomes a little odd, like so far in front of him that if enemies are right next to him, he won't actually attack them, and that can be really annoying to work with. I need to stop bombing random walls because I do not have the bombs available to blow up my angel statues this way. Don't know where my secret room... Oh, I have a decent hunch where my secret room is actually, but I'm just gonna bomb this one right there. I'm actually gonna get this. Was kind of hoping to get another bomb under that, but fair enough. But I'm guessing my secret room is over here to the right. I guess my super secret room might be here-ish as well. Haunt can just take care of all of that, I guess. Yeah. And let's just fight this boss right here. It is Pin and the Forgotten. I am the Forgotten. It's Pin and Mega Fatty. Got there in the end. And I'm Drowsy Pill during a boss fight, which I guess we've never really pointed out how strong this actually is, but it does just slow down everything and not really affect my damage as much. So as you can see, it's pretty damn good. It is genuinely really quite nice to have. Also, occasionally when you pick up an item, it will... Well, the bones pick it up technically, and then stuff can teleport next to him, which can be kind of annoying. This is an active item. I guess we'll touch it for the sake of it not appearing again. And let's blow up this angel statue for the key piece right there. The enemies all target the ghost as well, which can be rather fiddly, because it means you can at least sort of lure enemies around the bones that way, and maybe get something to work that way. Probably should have used the active item during this fight, I guess. It also makes the room look a little bit more interesting, and I think that this boss, does he just follow me around? I'm actually not 100% sure if he does. No, he disappears when you leave the room. That's unfortunate. But yeah, we got one angel piece, so that's good. The secret room is not there, and that is genuinely quite surprising, but fair enough, I suppose. And let's move on. We still got a couple floors left to go before we reach the boss rush. At our current pace, I think we're okay, especially since we have a compass available, so it does speed up some of the floors if need be. And as such, I am just running all over the place. This is a little annoying, but fair enough, I suppose. I'm gonna just move this over there, and then in a second, bomb it. In the hope that there is a secret room there, and there was, so that is good. That worked out. Not sure what that red card is. I am struggling to read at the same time as trying to deal with this nonsense. Also, the mod that shows off what cards do and things are only working for the bones as well, interestingly enough, which is a little bit silly, but fair enough, I suppose. Might as well take the fish head trinket, because why not? And can once again enter our cursed room for free, so even though I don't have a bomb to open up that doorway right now, that is fine. Blew up a mushroom with Bob's brain there. Unfortunately, nothing good, but fair enough. And Haunt is taking care of that mushroom wonderfully. Haunt on its own is still, I still don't mind him that much. He's still an alright little bean, but he can only do so much at the end of the day. But if you have not leave Haunt, it is still a win effectively, so it can definitely be pretty good. Joker card, I don't know where I want to use this actually. I have 32 keys and 0 bombs, which is pretty great. But yeah, Joker card. I don't really want to get a Devil Deal just yet. And there is a couple Devil Deal items which are... they can be a little fiddly to use. Like things like Brimstone already work a little bit differently on the Forgotten in that you usually just have to charge your bone and then you create a small ball in front of you, which is very effective against Mega Satan with this character, I will say. Like specifically that works so well. And then there's stuff like this as well, which you can do, which is really nice. But some items do require a little bit of practice to use for sure. Health up is just another soul heart, so that is pretty much always going to be worthwhile. Chocolate milk, I actually don't know what this is going to do, so let's find out together. There's a decent chance it's not really going to have much of an effect. Except when I, like... oh, I can actually... oh, I can charge my melee attack, really? Oh, that's interesting. That's actually really good. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that one bit. That is actually going to be pretty useful, I think. Because that really seems to be just a positive effect on my attacks. So, yeah, I don't mind that. Especially against, like, bosses and things. It is a little fiddly, perhaps, in combination with Bob's brain. And I'm not sure if my regular attack is particularly weaker right now. But it doesn't seem to be. Enemies are still dying pretty quickly, so overall it seems like a net positive, I would argue. Come on, Bob. Oh, I guess that bat stuck on the thing and the Haunt's just gonna kill him, which I can appreciate. We could explore the rest of the floor, but I might as well just move on, I think. This is more or less gonna resolve itself. Peep is, I would argue, a little bit easier as this character just because you have such a good way to avoid taking damage during this. Bob's brain is probably going to take care of the rest here, I'm hoping. And if not, I'm just going to stay away from it all. Or just do one big swing with my big bone, which is obviously very effective as well. Also, while trying to get the bandage ball in the previous run, I actually picked up some blood clots as well. So if at some point I suddenly unlock it, whatever it is that you get for picking up 10 blood clots if I haven't already. And when you're counting it doesn't seem to add up, then that's probably going to be the reason. Bone. Oh, my bone boy flew away for some reason. Not really sure why that happened. I don't think I picked them up. But yeah, charging the attacks does seem fairly effective, I will say. Get over there, please. Ah, jeez. Come on. I really just want him to move towards me, and I'm actually struggling. Which is unusual. Fair enough, though. We got a Devil Deal, we got a big sword, which doesn't really affect my life too much. We just have all sorts of good things, really. We got a sword, we got chocolate milk, we got a full key. This cleared itself pretty quickly, so that's nice. Would have liked if Haunt did a little bit more there, but I can only ask so much, I suppose. Not sure where I'm supposed to go on this floor. It's a little bit difficult to tell with this particular layout, but we'll just do our best to go through this as quickly as we can. Oh, that's definitely not what I expected this room layout to, or this floor layout to look like, but fair enough, I guess. Really? Didn't expect that to hit me, which is why I tried it. I wouldn't mind a little bit more movement speed, actually. I think we got a speed downhill earlier, and it is kind of ruining my day. But this can really only be a dead end, I think, unless this is like a particularly nasty floor. So instead, let's go this way. I should once again visit my curse room, though. It has a black heart inside, and a soul heart as well, and definitely not bad. And let's get out of there. At this stage, I could go for Devil Deals, though, because we do at least have the full key available, so that is nice. So we have that option. I don't mind Bob's Brain, actually, on this. Like, now that I'm a little bit more used to it. It does seem to be fairly effective, at least. We'll do this just because it might end up working out. Kinda hoping to get that one to get a little closer. I don't think I want to have Dead Cat unless I get a really good Devil Deal on this floor, which I'm not assuming. I would be pretty surprised. I'd be happy with it. It does not seem worthwhile. Wouldn't have minded a Dreamcatcher somewhere in this run, because that would have been a very good item room to skip for sure. Another bomb, I'll take that. The bones can also buy things, which can be a little annoying as well, but it's fair enough. We have the money for it anyway, so that's fine. But moving on. So far, the route seems to be pretty self-explanatory now that I'm going in the right direction, so that's nice. Bob's Brain coming in from the back, which is wonderful. I'll take Algiz, actually. That's a shield. Another angel room as well. So yeah, Dead Cat is definitely not seeming too tempting unless I can find just 100 soul hearts in one of the next rooms, but I feel like that's fairly unlikely. And the shield is once again next to the invulnerable part of my body. So at most, I have a sword and a shield, and neither of them really do anything unless I am holding my only source of damage, which is unfortunate for sure. And I'm hoping that the angel room is not going to open up as well, so we get a little bit more chance of it opening up on the next floor. And let's just charge that up. Look at how that's going. It did open up, so that's actually unfortunate, but fair enough. You can only get the things that you are lucky enough with, I suppose, so that's fine. We have 4 minutes to clear this floor, which seems like more than enough, I would argue. And these charged up melee attacks are doing so much. I guess this is also just really good as the regular Forgotten then, because that seems so powerful. Definitely not disappointed by the strength of soy milk on this character. It also does help that this character doesn't really need the, I'll take that. Hagalaz, I'll take Hagalaz for this room, actually. But yeah, it also does help that this character doesn't need, like, any ranged attacks because of a chain that's stuck on him at all times, so we don't need to worry about not being able to attack enemies at some point during the run. It just simplifies a lot of things. But I don't understand how well designed this character is. It just works so well. It's kind of unreal how well this works when you think about it. It really shouldn't. You are genuinely throwing your character around to try and deal damage to enemies, and it still somehow just works. And it's not even a bad character. I'd argue it's probably one of the better ones. It helps that the attack is just really strong as well, I guess, but that's right in the fire and the spikes there. I'm not going to touch that. But still, though, that seems so ridiculous to me that this character is just functions. I definitely appreciate it, though. Weirdly enough, I haven't played this character that much, even though I like it quite a lot, but like, as I said, I haven't really had a bad run with this character either. And admittedly, when you only do like 2 runs with a character, you're not you're only either going to get good or bad runs, I suppose, so it's kind of hard to gauge on how well a run is going to go from the get-go, but it still seems fairly unusual to me, I suppose. But it does make the unlocks a bit more guaranteed, which is nice. That is a bunch of nothing. Fool card from the skull. I guess I might as well buy all of this. Don't really have a reason. Don't think Algiz gets affected by that, but you know, if we find any other cards later on in the run, then that could be nice. Not sure what I want to use Algiz for, but if we ever get into a particularly nasty situation, then it's probably nice to have it on deck. Let's just try and blow this up. Yeah, the super secret room could be in a variety of places. I don't really feel like looking for it right now, so let's instead just do the mom fight and head on to our boss rush. And then you're gonna see the troubles of using this character for boss rush, because, well, clearing rooms is not too difficult. Bosses do take a minute, and when you have to do a whole bunch of waves of bosses, it does take yet another minute, really, so it can be rather annoying, but not impossible by any means of the imagination. It just takes a while, and I'm hoping that I am correct in that assessment and that things are going to be okay. I can go either way right now, and Polaroid is pretty good because we only have soul hearts anyway, so we're going to get a shield a lot. So, and I think the shield still affects the ghost, even if it may not seem like it does visually. So, I think I might just go for the chest this time around. I'll take the extra damage. And with that, we can enter our boss room. Fate's Reward, not really sure how that works. Tiny Planet, not really sure if that does anything. Dry Baby. It's not. It's probably just going to chase the bones around us, so that's not really that interesting. Not really sure how this works either. I'm just going to see if this does anything, really. That's just how it's going to be. We get a lot more range, which I'm not loving, because, as you can see, I'm not hitting anything anymore. Which is, yeah, that's something I hadn't considered, unfortunately. Like extra range, as you can see, I'm just shooting in front of myself too far, like a little bit too far now. And that's a problem, but we'll just have to find a way to make this work. If need be, I can just throw the character around a lot more, I suppose, but hopefully we can just find a way to be slightly further away from things. Against Mega Satan, it's not going to be much of an issue at least, but... And then you have stuff like that where the boss just dies instantly, so that's kind of nice. But it can be a little fiddly for sure. But... that's what you get. That's what you get when you forget that Tiny Planet is a significant range up. And it didn't help. I don't think it said it was. Or maybe I just didn't read it. Actually, there's a fair chance that I just forgot about my range entirely. Which is the far more likely situation than the mod not saying it does. Because the mod is pretty good at saying things, really. This is fine. Bob's Brain took care of the rest there. And this boss is huge, so far, no real troubles. God, look at my damage, though. I don't think that Tiny Planet has really done anything else other than make my range intolerable, though. Yeah, there's a shield, which is only on the bones, but I think it still affects the non-bones as well, if I'm right. Trying not to blow myself up here, but it ended up working out. Also, you can finally really see the boss rush mod in action in terms of how many waves we still have left to go, so that is also a nice little quality of life improvement. Does nothing spawn if you stand close enough to the rocks with Monstro? That's weird. I guess I'd never really noticed that before, and I think he killed the other boss, so that's good. Let's just try... I don't know what my health is right now, but I think it's still fine. I think it's still decently high, at least. Against Hush, I'm not really expecting any problems with my range being like this either, because he's also just massive, so that's not really the biggest problem, unless it's like the tinier enemies around him, I suppose. Those could be kind of an issue. But if need be, we got Bob's Brain in a large period of time available, so I feel confident that we're going to be okay. Yeah, and the bosses can also just deal with all the enemies, I suppose. Which is fair enough. That Gemini is just going to hang out on the floor there. Immediately got tired of running when I hung about on those rocks, so that's nice. And ran away when Haunt got there, so that is also good. all things considered, no worries. We're getting through this just fine. Even when I started this run saying, ooh, I shouldn't get any range, and then immediately picked one of the highest range up items in the game. It's one of those days, you know? I've been saying that about a lot of runs, but it really has been a week, and I'm just gonna end up making a couple mistakes to the nature of my general status of fatigueness. But we're getting through it. We're having a little bit less difficulty than a character that dies in 2 hits, so I can kind of appreciate how that is going. God, look at this damage though. I was not aware of the hot chalky milk forgotten, but here we are, having the time of our lives. Anytime a boss is huge, that's good for me. I don't even mind Cage that much right now with our current situation. Just lure him into the bones and hope that he gets hit. This is such an awkward angle for this boss in particular. He doesn't seem to want to go towards me most of the time. But it's working out. Final wave, I think. So that's good. These bosses all pretty much die in 1 hit. The Haunt is taking care of one of them, so I'm actually going to assume that'll be over in a second. And that boss is a little annoying. Because he keeps teleporting around in a really, really big room. And that can be a little tedious for sure. Also quite tiny, which can be a little frustrating. But we got through that. We have Adrenaline, which doesn't affect our character, I'm pretty sure. And with that we can move onwards to Hush, I guess. The Mama Mega should be able to open up the door even if we're not quick enough. Plus, with Mama Mega, that floor is going to go pretty quickly regardless. That was a good way to take damage. But the non-charged attacks are, I suppose, a little bit on the weak side anyway, so I probably should just be trying to charge up my attack as much as I can. But our health situation is still pretty good, so I'm not overly concerned about our situation, I suppose. There is a curse room on the way there, I do believe. Yeah, Bob's brain is a little bit worrying at times. But other than that, this build it's alright. This is also a little bit of a concern. I don't like hands. I'd rather take care of the eyes first. And I'm struggling just enough to hit these enemies, but it worked out. Bob's brain once again being a little precarious for sure, but he's just doing his best. I can't really complain about that too much, I suppose. And either this is a very tiny floor, or just one of those floors that just has a lot of different directions, and one of them leads to the boss really quickly. That would be really lovely. Well, I guess there's one really long path to the right, which might be the majority of this floor as well, which for my sake is kind of nice because I'm not really looking to explore this floor too much anyway. So I can appreciate that. Might be worth looking for my secret room, I suppose. Just in case I can find like a shopkeeper in there. There is a couple of places where I would expect it to be. The first one being the one I just bombed, but this one looked pretty likely as well. And indeed, there is one shopkeeper waiting for me. Increasing the odds of that door opening by yet another 2.5% and hoping for the best. Not really sure what I'm hoping for specifically. But you never know. Sometimes you see an item and you're like, ah yes, Sacred Heart. I suppose that's kind of nice. I suppose Sacred Heart is, with chocolate milk, is just going to make my damage absolutely ridiculous. So I would actually like that specifically. Having given it some thought, Sacred Heart is the one I would like. Might as well look for my super secret room, I guess. Since I don't really need bombs for anything anymore. Last assist, that's not a problem. This boss is more or less going to die instantly, I think, so pretty fine. Not really instantly, I suppose, but instantaneously enough that I don't have to worry about it. I can just hang out over here and let the bones do all the work. No thing opened, but that's fair enough. We can spend some time on the next floor as Mama Mega is going to open up the world. There we go. That'll deal with whatever comes our way. There's some health waiting for us, a Wheel of Fortune card. Bombs are key, could be good, but probably never going to be as good as Algiz, so let's just leave that alone. And yeah, let's just take our moment here to explore the entirety of the floor. We have 4 minutes before the hush door, well, 3 minutes I guess, before that no longer opens up naturally, but it doesn't really matter because the explosion will deal with it. This could be good. Small rock, really. Well, I guess I hadn't picked that up before, but it is a speed down, which I'm not loving. I mean, it's a damage up, which is good, obviously, but the speed down is getting pretty rough at this stage because my speed just isn't that good. So, if we can find something like Lord of the Pit, I'd actually be kind of interested in a, like, Devil Deal. In an Angel Room, I'm not really sure what gives speed ups, so whatever gives a speed up, I'd be pretty happy with. This is a little bit too precarious for my tastes. Not being able to see what that is, that could be a dead cat and just ruin my day. It could be Curse of the Tower, which would be really bad. This is actually pretty tempting, in the instance that we do get an Angel Room. Since I'm guessing that Angel statue is just going to wake up immediately the moment I go in there anyway. I am a little concerned that if I take... I should take this, actually. I shouldn't have taken that. I am a little concerned that if I go into an Angel Room and then the time runs out, that the door will be... like, to hush will be closed again. So I guess I might as well just finish up here. We have gone into our secret room at least, and our super secret room, so it's probably fine. The hush door is open, as you can see. We could actually just leave at this stage, interestingly enough. And I'm happy I took that Eternal Heart with the damage that I have taken there. I took 2 hearts of damage, which is slightly more than I would have liked. And there we go. That is pretty much exactly what I expected to happen there, so I'm happy that I indeed took that thing. We'll just take all of these. Lazarus' rags, which is not great. 7 seals, that's fine. That's probably the only angel we're going to see. And I think I still have time to quickly walk towards that soul heart in the curse room before moving onwards to the hush fight. Whoa. I did that very wrong. I panicked. Yeah, fair enough. That's okay. I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm hoping that I'm Excited pill is going to have worn off by the time I actually do reach the actual hush fight, which it might, I think. Otherwise, we're gonna have a pretty sketchy situation during our hush fight, unfortunately, but hopefully it's gonna be okay. That's Pinky, which I don't mind. It is yet more health after all. So that's good. That's Panic Button. We finally see it in real life for once. It rarely appears. Little Chubby's okay. Out of the two, I guess I want this one more than the other. I think I'm Excited activated there again, so once again I do have that hope that that is going to happen. Ace of Diamonds. Could be good. I'll take that for the damage. Not sure if it's ever worthwhile, but I'm going to take it anyway. And since we don't have an active item anyway, I might as well take this while we're at it. I'm going to assume that's going to launch from the meme, from the bones rather, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully that's going to work out. I'm going to put a couple coins in here, because I don't think we're going to be using much of our coins anymore anyway. And also just to spend some potential time on what could possibly be yet one more proc if I'm Excited that I'm not prepared for, so really I'm just waiting just in case it happens like one more time. And once we reach that 30-30 mark, I think I'm just gonna go in, but until then I don't like having I'm Excited during the hush fight, really. It's just a very awkward situation. Let's just put that right in front of him and just hack away for a while with relative ease. When you are this far away from him, you can just use your attacks. I'm not sure how far backwards he's going. Also, is everything moving in slow motion? I'm actually not sure what's happening here, but something is slowing him down fairly fiercely. There we go. And indeed, it is from the bones that this active item shoots. So that's marginally annoying, but it's manageable, I suppose. ultimately fine. I'm keeping the Ace of Diamonds instead of Algis for this fight in case he just spawns a lot of enemies and I find this just a little bit easier to deal with them. Plus the ones that are like put in the ground, those particular enemy types are just a little bit annoying to deal with. The bones will just get pushed away by him, so as long as he's not too far away from him, I'm just going to keep those bones there and focus entirely on dodging. Yeah, I am slowing him down somehow, but I'm not exactly sure how or why. I'll take it, I suppose. A little bit annoying to dodge like this with the low speed that I have, but that's okay. So far things are going fine. Our damage is clearly managing, so that's good. And I will actually just sit over here so the tears hopefully hit our little bone boy if needed. Just hang out around him to make life as safe as can be. As you can see, it was not as safe as can be. But it's fine. It's good enough, I would argue. That is going to make him lower, which is mildly annoying, but not impossible to deal with given our current location. There should be a couple tears coming my way here. Yep. And I might have to use my Ace of Diamonds here because I'm getting into kind of a rough spot, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Just to deal with all those enemies right there. And once again, we can just hang out over here while the bones deal with all the damage required. I can be as far away from that as I need to be. I know that I'm dealing damage, and that's all I really need to know. As long as that health bar is going down, then I do not care where it's coming from. This is entirely okay, and definitely one of the more manageable fights as this character because of it, because you can just use up the entirety of the room. I'm a little worried about Delirium for sure, but hopefully it's going to be okay. And there we go. That is the Soul of the Forgotten unlocked for beating both Boss Rush and Hush with this character. Might as well blow up this Wheel of Fortune. Oh, right, because we got the card, right. I guess I kind of wish I did have more money at this stage, but no, well. Kind of forgot I had that active. That's okay. Bombs are key. Probably don't want to have that because I'm going up towards the chest, and I'd like to have as many keys as possible. I guess 4 keys is probably enough. Also, there was plenty of money over here because I used that Ace of Diamonds and genuinely completely forgot about the actual effects of that, so that's good. But so far, so good. We are getting some more things done. If anything, we no longer need to play quick as this character ever again. So there is some positive to this run, whatever may happen. But so far, I'd argue that this build is good. It's an okay build. Obviously, I made a tiny mistake in there with Tiny Planet, but it's still definitely manageable. The only thing I'm really lacking is speed. And I do hope we can find some speed in there. 7 Seals is actually taking care of business pretty well also, so that's good. Without me having to be near any of the action, so I can definitely appreciate that. Let's just try and bomb some of these. Never mind, let's just bomb one of them and win. And if we manage to find any more good cards along the way, then it might be worth taking those as well. Not sure if this build would be able to handle Delirium, but again, it is not guaranteed that we are going to see Delirium anyway. But it is dealing damage. But again, the movement speed is really the main crux of whether or not Delirium is going to be at all manageable, because dodging is... Well, you really just need to be able to run around a lot during Delirium, and I'm not sure if we can. Having said that, we do, I suppose, have the added bonus of having a small statue around that blocks tears, so it might actually still be alright. I don't know, that's not great locationing, but fortunately Bob's Brain actually moves me slightly away from the boss, and then I'm actually at a perfect distance. So you know what? I don't mind that I took Bob's Brain, because it was a good preparation for the nonsense that I was going to get myself into later. Oh, that looks good as well. Got the slow down beams from the sky as well as something else, isn't it? There we go. Look at how well this is going. It is going swimmingly. The door to Mega Satan should open here. And we can take any of these great things. Lusty Blood I'm always happy with. Part of the conjoined transformation, which I don't know how good that's going to be on this character specifically, but that's okay. And let's see what kind of damage we can do here. I guess the Spear of Destiny is actually probably doing some damage here as well, which I can appreciate. Not sure how big of an effect it's going to be ultimately, but it probably helps out a little bit to just have that thing poking around in there, so that's nice. Plus it is pretty big as well, so probably isn't too difficult to hit with. That was some unfortunate damage. I could make this even weirder with the punching bag, I guess, but I don't want to. Kind of confused why he shot down. I'm not sure if he aimed for the bones there or not, or if that's something that bloat does. But that would be really nice, because that would trivialize every bloat fight, really, as this character. Guess who forgot about his bombs? It me. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's do this boss fight right here. As per usual. I was kind of hoping that he'd move in a slightly different spot there, but that's okay. He's already nearly dead anyway, in a way, with how quick this is going. So I guess I'm not too worried. Mega Satan I'm not too worried about either. I do need to watch out for that chest though, because I think if the bones touch the chest, you also just end the run, so that's obviously not ideal either. My health is a little worrying. I don't love my health right now. I have one bomb, so I can't really do much here. I could explore the rest of the floor. I'm not sure if it's going to be worthwhile, but perhaps we can get some more items in there. When I saw this boss though, I never really feel at ease. But then again, play it slowly and carefully, and he dies in 2 hits. Ooh, never mind. Okay, let's see if this works out. That's still not conjoined, really. But I have 3 conjoined items. I think. Like, I have Little Steven, which I thought was part of conjoined, but maybe it isn't. Harlequin Baby, I'm pretty sure is, and the Ice Baby is as well, I'm fairly sure. So really the main one I'm not sure about is Steven. Yeah, fair enough. This, I might actually prefer that over kinda difficult to aim shoot the whoop, so I'll take that. So far not too bothered about my choice to explore a little bit more in the chest, but also not like overly impressed. But the rooms have been fairly kind so far, so I can appreciate that at least. And some of the bosses do seem to be jumping towards the bones though, which is unusual. Not really expecting that, because they can't take damage, and I don't mind it if they do that. There's a red heart health, which obviously isn't going to do much for me. Just going to touch that so it definitely doesn't show up anymore. Boom. And a lot of explosions later. No worries at all. I do like how the bone just physically grows before the attack as well. It just looks very silly. There we go. I mean, look at that damage though. You can't really be too worried about your run if you deal that much damage in a singular hit. When the only thing you're fighting is bosses, then, you know, damage is pretty nice to have. Lord, my speed is not gonna like that. If you find like a significant speed up somewhere, it's tempting, but I'm gonna assume that that's probably not going to happen this time around. I will try to bomb this for a potential super secret room. Yeah. They can spawn next to thin rooms, but just at the very end of them, because that just leads to another room, I guess. Whereas the thin parts of the room never actually lead to another room. But it is kind of rare, and I'm not sure if it needs to be like a southern exit or something like that for it to work. There is some weird rules to the game from occasion. Don't like this. Still don't like this. I'm in a bad spot, yeah. Unfortunately, I had to move to the other side of the room to get my attacker. I could have waited for him to jump, I guess. Well, that makes red hearts better. So I like that. I'm gonna just run around the floor afterwards with that, I guess. See if we can find a little bit more health for our troubles. A lot of chests this time around. Alright, this should be conjoined then. Yeah. Very minor damage down, but nothing else, fortunately, so that's good. And that is a large quantity of bones coming out of that character. Look at that. You can't really say no to that, can you? The moment that boss gets close, he's doomed. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna say I like conjoined on this character. It's a surprising matter of fair, since I always take Conjoin, but I mean, even on this one, I feel like it just tripled my damage. So obviously I'm not too bothered by that. Just gonna leave that alone for now. That's probably just going to be some bombs. Yeah, and the troll bombs are going for the bones as well. There is some weird targeting going on with this, but I fully appreciate it because it only makes my life easier. That is Mr. Mega, so that's at least a couple more chances to find that super secret room, but I'm a little worried it's going to be next to that big room though. And I don't really have the bombs to find it in the end, but if we manage to find it by accident somewhere, then obviously I'm not going to complain about that. Only a few more room, well, one more room to go I suppose, unless we can find that super secret room. And this boss is probably going to be dead before I can get my bones back, and indeed, that did appear to be the case. Let's just try over here. We tried near the boss room. I haven't tried the one at the very end of this corridor, which wouldn't be too strange either, I don't think, if it was over here. So let's just try this. No. That is unfortunate. I'm just gonna try this one, hope for the best. If not, that's fine. Hey, look at that. One black heart. It was worthwhile. And with that, let us grab the red heart here. Don't throw the bones. If I throw the bones into the chest, I am going to be unhappy. So let's not do that. One more red heart waiting for us at the end of this hallway. I can speed this up a little bit by just throwing the bones towards the door, I suppose. Which I should have been doing probably the entirety of this run. And I guess bombs or key is probably going to be better than having 33 keys I can't really do anything with, but you know what? I don't care. Let's just go. Just throw that over there. Hopefully that's somewhere near the boss. It seems to be going at a weird angle, but yeah, it did work out. God. Look at this damage. He's going to be going to the next phase in no time. A little bit tedious this, but never mind, the horses die in one hit, so really, what am I worried about? You wait over there. Very good. On to phase 2. Yeah, definitely not feeling too worried about this just yet. Especially during the phase again. The second phase especially, I can just hide behind the bones and have the bones do all the work, really. I have flight, so the creep isn't going to damage me ever with this character. That was an unfortunate hit because I was in a kind of a bad spot there to deal with that, but that's fine. Lil Haunt doing his best. Very good. I guess Little Steven just isn't part of Conjoined then, huh? You know, to come back to that subject. Because that's really the only one I can think of. Unless Harlequin Baby is, but that would just seem odd. Like all the other babies, I would understand. I don't know. Very strange. Guess I just never really noticed it. But anyway, here comes phase 2 of Mega Satan. We still have that Algiz, but I'm just keeping it in case we get a Delirium portal here. It's not guaranteed, but would be nice this time around. Because I feel like this build is capable of dealing with him for sure. Plus whatever else may come our way onwards. I can just hang out over here. He's going to have to move around so much before his tears are even going to do anything to me, I think. But let's just play this a little bit safer and just hide over here because none of his attacks pierce my bone body. And before you know it, this boss is going to be dead. And what do we got? Nope. Oh well. We got Mega Satan done. We get the golden batteries in our basement, so that is lovely. We got a bunch of stuff done as the Tainted Forgotten. And I just think this character is really interesting. He works so interestingly, and I still cannot believe how effective he actually is at dealing with his problems. But everyone can fully appreciate the power that is behind this strange little creature. But I hope you enjoyed it so far. Next time we play, we'll be doing a different run as a different character. And I hope to see y'all there. Bye bye.